And a very good evening to you. You're listening to the Modern Mystic radio show. I'm your host, Saira. I'm going to be with you for the next 30 minutes. I will be taking 2 callers, so get dialing. Just to remind you very quickly of how to get hold of me outside of the show if you would like to book a private session with me. You can do that via my website, which is www.modern-mystic.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook under Mystic Saira, which is my screen name for the TV over here in the UK, and also under Modern Mystic. So if you would like to join those pages, I do sort of once a week or once a fortnight a free psychic session for about an hour, normally 8 p.m. UK time. So just keep your, keep updated with, when that's going to be. I normally put a post up the day before I do my show. So just keep an eye on that. I'm just going to remind you very quickly how I work and what I do. So I'm a psychic here in the UK, professional psychic, and have been for over 28 years. I started at the tender age of just 17, and now I've been doing it for 28 years. So you can do the maths, I'm getting on, as they say. So I work in a variety of different ways. Number one, I am a natural psychic. I had my first psychic experiences from about the age of 7. I went on to explore that, which then led me on to realising that I had a psychic gift, and that's now what I do for my main job. It is what I do all the time. So I do work in a variety of different ways. I like to work with my cards, so I do have a couple of decks here. So I have with me my favourite deck, which is the first deck I was ever given when I was 17 by my first teacher. And these are the Psy cards, which I tend to use all the time. And those like I said, they're 28 years old, that particular pack. And I also have my tarot with me as well. I do work with rune stones, with crystals, with the crystal ball, the obsidian mirror, as well is what I like to use. Plus I do Akashic record readings as well. And I do that in quite a unique way. I use this crystal here, which I'm just going to show you. And this is called a cathedral lightberry crystal. Okay, so what I do is I tune into that, access the Akashic realm, and there I can read your Akashic records, which will detail, your soul's journey, your soul's pathway, your future in that respect, future possibilities, things that you are destined to do. So I use that crystal for that purpose. I can also look at soul connections as well through that. Now, here in the UK, I'm known as the soulmate psychic. So what I do is actually work with soulmates and twin flames. So I've been doing that now for a good few years. It's been a big part of my work. I love it. I really enjoy it. And I also understand, that whole soulmate journey. And to be honest with you, this year I do feel that that's going to be a big part of my work. I feel like there are going to be many more soulmates and twin flames coming together or reuniting in some way. Okay, so today what I want to talk about is the full moon in Virgo, which is falling Wednesday and Thursday, depending on where you are. Thursday here in the UK at, I believe it's 12:50, sort of, it's basically in the middle of the night. But if you're over in the US, you'll need to check that time. So it's falling at 11 degrees in Virgo. And that's going to be quite a powerful moon because we are in a number 11 year as well. So what does the number 11 mean? So it's to do with spiritual illumination, awakening. So expect to feel quite guided during this time and during this full moon. And because it's in Virgo, we're looking at more grounded aspects. So what I'm hoping with this full moon is that when you send your intentions out, that it'll have a more grounded feel to it. Okay, so we're not just looking at necessarily those practical aspects of manifesting in, but also grounding that energy and bringing those into reality, which is obviously the all important thing. Okay, so if we're going to use the energy of this full moon, what I'm suggesting to people is, get yourself ready, smudge yourself, clear your energy, get yourself nice and focused. If you're going to use a candle, go for either white, or you can go for green, or orange as well will work quite well with Virgo. And then write your intentions down, what you would like to manifest. Now, the interesting thing about this full moon is that it's actually working in tandem with the recent eclipses that we've had. And now with these eclipses, what we've been doing is actually clearing our pathway, releasing a lot of karma, releasing a lot of negativity. So with this full moon, because of its grounding aspect, what I'm asking people to do is to focus in on what they would like to fill that void, if you like, of where they've cleared their pathway. So you've got rid of the stuff, that you don't need. What would you like in its place? That's what I feel that we should all be focusing upon. It's going to be quite a powerful one. I don't know whether you've noticed any effects from it yourself. Maybe you've been feeling more emotional. Quite often we do before a full moon. Or, maybe you're feeling a little bit more, maybe your dreams are going absolutely nuts. I know mine do as well. Okay, so I hope you found that interesting. Take note and, try and use this energy in the most productive and positive way that you can. Okay, so I'm going to go on to my first caller. And we have Marlene in Los Angeles. Hi, Marlene, are you there?
Hi, yes, I am. Thank you so much for taking my call today.
You're more than welcome. And thank you for joining the show today. Is there anything you would like me to focus in on for you tonight?
Oh, I would love to focus on love and what I should expect for 2018 with regard to that.
Okay.
Because, and friendships, like relationships, basically.
Okay. So let's have a look and see what I've got for you. Just going to give the cards a bit of a shuffle. And let's just see what we have coming in. Okay, straight away, I'm being drawn towards the month of April for you.
April?
Now, let's just, April is a very, very strong month for you. To be honest with you, I'm just looking at this because I feel like I've got a bit of a choice coming up for you. So I kind of feel that, you're not looking just for any kind of humdrum relationship.
That's
you're
true.
looking for, you're quite driven, you're quite motivated yourself. You're very clear in your own mind about what you want for your future, for you. Forget about relationships, but just for you. You're very sort of on point there. Now, I feel what I've got here, like I said, I've got two people stepping forward over the month of April. Very different energies, okay? Now, one seems to be, I want to say a little bit more like your type, okay? So I'm seeing somebody kind of coming in, quite dynamic, quite charming, a very, very strong energy. But I don't feel like I've got you picking this one, okay? You may very well go on a few dates with this person, but I feel like I've got somebody else actually coming in that's going to be far more actually what you're looking for, because with this person, I've got that stability and I've got that groundedness and I've got that the caring, the nurturing and the wanting the best for you. The other person seems to kind of be more driven for themselves, and I kind of want to say, when this comes up, sort of look at actually what their motivation is, and where they're kind of coming from, what their expectations are, because they're going to be very different, these two people. Okay, one is going to be more driven towards themselves and their own goals, and the other one is going to be far more centered around building a future with you, building a life with you, and far more focused on actually wanting the best for you, really. Okay. Now, with this relationship that I've just talked about here, what I am seeing is, I want to say I get commitment here with this. Now, there's something here sort of tying in with like a mutual interest that I feel like you're going to share. It seems as though at the moment, I want to say for this year, you're in actually quite a good place, and I feel like you're feeling a lot more grounded than you have been over the past few years, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
I feel I feel like you know where you're going, you know what you want to do with your life, and now this relationship is not so much based around a need. Like a lot of us will seek relationships because we feel like we need one, whereas you are different because you want to, how can I put it, you want to spend time with that person because you enjoy their company. It's not about need. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is what, this relationship that I've got, you mentioned friendship as well. Now, this relationship is going to be very much based upon that. I get a really good solid foundation around it. One that I feel, you can thoroughly, I want to say, rely on this person in terms of being there when you need them. I've also got quite a strong soul connection coming in with them as well. So that is one of the things I have to say I feel like you really do look for within a relationship, is that magnetic connection.
Oh, wow. And do I know these people?
I don't feel like you do. I don't feel like you know either of them. Like I said, the first one that I mentioned, I don't feel is going to be, it's definitely your type. I feel like they're going to kind of sweep you away with all these ideas, but they're not going to be the one that you go for. Both of them, I don't feel like you currently know them.
Okay.
I feel like they are new, but I am getting this very, very strong soul connection. Very, very strong soul connection. Is there somebody that you already feel you have a connection with then?
Well, I thought it would be someone that I knew last year, and we had to sort of stop talking because of work. But I thought he would come around somehow again, but I have no current connection with him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, if I tune into him, I feel, yes, you did have a soul connection here with him. But I kind of feel like it was one of those, I tend to call them door opener relationships here, where it kind of integrates you into that feeling of a soul connection, but it's not necessarily the person that you are going to have that bigger soul connection with. Okay. It's almost like a stepping stone. Does that make sense?
Oh, a second soul, you said?
A stepping stone.
Oh, a stepping stone relationship. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, because I still feel like there's a place in your heart, for this person. But, I want to say, if you can kind of see it as more of a stepping stone relationship, really just to introduce you to the whole soul connection energy. That might make it easier for you to then forward focus on this other relationship that I've got coming in for you, which, like I said, I feel is going to have an even bigger connection here, or soul connection with you.
Oh, wow. And I am talking to someone by the name of Hunter, but who knows where that's going to go. This is an online thing, so it could just be very well.
Let's have a look. Well, like I said, I'm getting April.
April. Okay.
For your time when we're looking at relationships, so it may very well be you have to sift through a few frogs, but I feel that your big time is going to be April. So I don't feel that the person I'm looking at for you is actually Hunter. He's more
I
likely, I'm
see.
being
Wow.
told here, he's more likely to be the first person that I saw, which was quite dynamic.
Yeah, he is pretty dynamic so far. And I've only
Yeah.
talked to him, expressed a couple things with him.
Mm. Yeah, so I want to just say, see where that one goes, but I feel like there's another one coming up.
Oh, I see.
Okay?
Okay. Wonderful.
All right, well,
Lovely.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You're very talented, and I really appreciate you taking the time. So,
Oh, thank you. You take care.
you too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now. And off she goes. Now we have Glenda from Dublin. Hi, Glenda.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. And so thank you so much for coming through to the show. Is there anything in particular you would
delighted.
like me to look at for you?
Just, if you could, about my partner that passed away.
Okay, let me just have a look and see what I've got for you.
Thank you.
And let me just see what I have here. Right, I'm just going to try and tune into the energy here and just focus
Thank you.
as I tune into his energy. Okay, right. Okay, wow. Do you still feel his energy around you?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I just, as I'm tuning into his energy, there is just, it's like my heart just opens right up, you know, and
Yeah.
I feel like he's you and him are just like this. You're so connected,
Yeah.
and I feel it's almost like he's not far from your side. That's what I kind of get here with this. Always offering you, I want to say, you know, you how can I put it? It's like he's still there for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Even though I'm also being shown here dreams. He's saying sort of look out for your dreams. So I'm not sure whether you've actually dreamt of him or been with him. I want to say been with him.
The past 8 days, I've done nothing but dreamt of him.
Wow. And when did he pass away?
6 months ago.
Okay. I mean, that I feel is quite a good length of time here, you know, in terms of being, I want to say being open to direct spirit communication. I keep on being drawn towards a robin as well.
Yeah, that was said to me, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like in many different ways, he's still trying to give you confirmation of his presence as well.
Wow.
You know, I feel that it's almost like, how can I put it? It's almost like a suddenness here with his passing. But I also feel that I feel like he was ill, but it was still quite sudden. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he suffered with depression and all stuff like that, but his death was very sudden.
Yeah, but it's almost like you didn't have but the love, even though I want to say the love between the two of you was always very, very intense, always very, very strong. And that, I feel, it's almost like that whole energy, that whole emotion, despite the fact that he's passed away, still remains, okay? And what I'm being shown here with him is that even though he's gone on to the other side, his energy is still very much with you, and certainly that love connection is still very much there. And that, I feel, is, you know, I just feel here he's kind of saying that he can guide you better, or he can help you better from where he is now than he could do in life. Okay, you know, I feel
heard that before a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that you know, with him, he's kind of taken me back to you know, I want to say years and years and years ago. I want to maybe even say childhood with him. Okay, and I feel that what I'm being shown, what he's saying here, is that you know there was some sort of like emotional damage at that point with him.
In his childhood, yeah.
Yeah, and what he's saying here is that he never really faced that or
no, he didn't.
You know, recovered from that or dealt with that. And you know, in many respects, you know, he's regretful that he didn't take that step, because it did create, you know, for him quite a shadow over his life. Because I feel he's telling me that he was actually quite a sensitive person.
Very sensitive, yeah.
And I feel that because of this sensitivity, he kind of internalized everything. And he took everything on board. So he was very self-critical, I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
He looked after everyone else and didn't look after himself.
Yeah. And in that respect, you know, I feel that, you know, I want to say he's how can I comfortable in spirit. He's safe in spirit. He's at peace. But he's still very much, you know, wanting to be by your side. And I don't feel here that he's ever going to leave. Does that make sense? He's never going to go. You know? So don't, if sometimes what he's saying here is to remind you that sometimes we can, you know, feel like we've lost the connection. Yeah. Okay. Where we don't feel them around so much, and we're wondering whether they've gone, and all this, that, and the other. And you know what he's saying here is he's asking me to remind you that it's never about the fact that they've gone, because they you know they haven't, but it's more of the case that our perception has shifted and changed. Okay, so we've got to kind of bring it back to you know a level where we can be open enough. Okay, so what he's saying, there's something here about I don't know, waking up in the middle of the night or waking up very early in the morning, and you feeling him there. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I wake up at the same time about 3 times every night, 2:30, 4:30, and 7:30.
Oh, wow. And do you feel his energy during those times?
Yeah. That's why I think I do wake up.
I mean, there's something, he keeps on being drawn, I'm being drawn towards his pillow. It's really weird. He's showing me the pillow.
Yeah, because he always slept on mine, and now I sleep on it.
Yeah, because I kind of feel here, you know, it's either you reach over to that pillow or you hold that pillow, and he's bringing my attention to it. It's almost like he knows that you're doing that. Does that make sense? And I feel like he is very much, you know, there for you. In many respects.
Now I definitely know.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I feel in many respects, you know, over the next year or so, he's saying that things are going to get a little bit easier for you. Okay. But he's always also reminding you there isn't going to be a second here that he's not going to be by your side. Okay. So he's saying that everything that you kind of had to do since his passing has been very, it's almost like you've been on autopilot. Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like he's kind of pulled you through that. But what he's saying is that now, certainly for the remainder of this year, you know, it's about you starting to kind of get your life back together. You know, I feel like that's been the aim, and that's been the objective. And he's saying one step at a time. Okay, for you.
Yeah, that'll be him.
He's going to be with you during that each step. He's going to be with you, and he's saying look out for more signs, because I feel like he will deliver. you know, but never doubt when you feel him that is his energy. That's him.
Yeah, I always do it. But lately I haven't been, because I always feel him with me. Thank you so much. You've been so much help.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Off she goes. Okay, right. So we are nearing the end of my show. So I'm going to thank my callers for coming through. It's always an absolute pleasure. If you do want to get hold of me, just to remind you, my website details are www.modern-mystic.co.uk, and you can get me on Facebook under Modern Mystic and Mystic Saira. I do readings over Skype and also face-to-face here in the UK, and over the telephone as well, plus email if you want that. So just take a sneaky peek at my website. If you want to join my newsletter as well, I'll be sending another one out at the beginning of March, which will have a discount as well for my services. So I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful week ahead. Enjoy that full moon energy. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Get those intentions out there. Start grounding that energy in. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of the shows, more importantly. Keep tuned. We've got plenty more shows coming up for you. Going to wish you lots of love and light, and goodbye for now.